Hi everyone and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Let's get right to it. So a lot happens in the park and then everybody leaves the park. So Emma is enjoying the snow and thinking of Charlotte, and she suggests maybe going to Windermere, and Anna's like, you know what? Sure. But I think she might have also gotten an invite from Valentine. I'm not quite sure. So also at the park, Dante peps Lulu up that they'll have Charlotte soon enough, and that, you know, they have 2 kids and she's just as much a part of the family as Rocco. And then Laura's there. So Sam and Jason are in the park with Danny. Jason suggests maybe seeing Alexis since she's all alone, but Sam suggests visiting Sunny because Alexis really did want time to prepare. At Windermere, Valentine and Nina are making Christmas special for Charlotte, and Nina makes a remark about Lulu kidnapping Charlotte, and Valentine says she didn't, but she is going to sue for full custody. And okay, so I know I've seen a little harsh on Nina before, and I really did like Nina, and I do still sympathize with her. Like, she wants a child and like she can, and you know, I feel all that, okay? But it just makes me laugh that Nina, the woman who thought it was so horrible that people were trying to keep Charlotte away from her dad, and who would keep a child away from their parent that's so horrible, is now a huge supporter of keeping Charlotte away from her mom. And for purely selfish reasons, because she wants to be Charlotte's mom. So it's just, that's where all my animosity towards Nina is coming from. That's like, you know, that's my motivation there. So Nina got Charlotte an art or bead set. I think it's like a bead set. I don't know. So Nina talks with Valentine about custody, and he has a next move planned and needs her help. And I'm like, oh, can't wait to hear it. So Valentine texts Lulu and invites them all to Windermere, and Laura's unsure if she wants to go, but Lulu's like, yeah, it's my daughter. Like, come on. So Anna and Emma arrive. Anna talks with Valentine. You know, how does he know her? Is it from the WSB Academy? Because that's her story. So Lulu and company arrive. Dante is suspicious of Valentine's motives, and Charlotte is hugging Nina, and Lulu's like, so they brought Charlotte a present, but it's the same thing Nina gave her. What are the chances, right? It beats stuff, and then she runs right over to Emma. Couldn't care less about Lulu. Can't blame her. She didn't know Lulu from a hole in the ground. So Laura has to go. This is like way too much for her. And Nina goes over to Lulu. She thinks Lulu should rethink this full custody thing. And Lulu's like, you literally stole a baby out of someone's womb. Bye. So Nina goes over to Valentine and is ready to fight for Charlotte. And I was like, yeah, you do that, Nina. You fight for Charlotte. Let me tell you, Maxie's wedding, which is coming up in like, less than a month, gonna be so fun. You know, with Lulu there, who's, I believe, gonna be the matron of honor. And if she's not, what's wrong with Maxie? You know, Nina's gonna be there. It's just gonna be such a fun wedding, right? And anyway, so Emma is asking Charlotte different questions about her father, and then asks to look at this calendar or event planner or plan, whatever she said. So Anna goes back to Valentine and says there's no record of a Valentine Cassadine or Theo Hart in the WSB Academy, and he's like, oh, then I must have never been there. And Anna's like, I'm gonna uncover what's going on, you just watch me. So Dante has to go. He got called away, and this should have been like, you know, a red flag there, something's going on, but I didn't pick up on it. I'm like, oh, he always gets pulled away. What's, you know, nothing big. So Dante wants her to go with him, and she's like, look, Anna's here. It'll be okay. She just wants to watch their children play together. And I'm like, aw. Oh, she's so gonna get Charlotte. Oh, I can't wait until this whole thing comes out. And if you want to put guesses in for what date you think that'll be, then you can let me know. Okay, anyway, I'll talk about that later. So at General Hospital, Franco is going to wait and tell Elizabeth the thing about Tom Baker, and she wants him to tell her so they can have like a magical Christmas Eve, and he's like, pretty sure that's not gonna be what happens. So he says it's about Tom Baker, and she's like, oh, I know already. And he's like, and she's like, yeah, he skipped on his parole, and someone called me, probably someone from the parole thing, and told me to be super careful. So then the boys come over, and they're all dressed like elves and adorable. Jake made something. Either Jake made it or like they all made it, but Jake gave it to Franco. They made something for him in arts and craft, and it's a stocking with his name on it. So Elizabeth tells Monica that Tom Baker disappeared. Franco got Jake a gift certificate to the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, and he wants to go with Franco, and Franco's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be around, and Jake's like, So Laura comes over to presumably see Aiden, but all the boys. And Franco is going to tell Elizabeth the truth, and because he can't handle a lie hanging over them, for Christmas. At Alexis's, Julian won't tell Alexis who was on the phone, and she won't give him his bag of ice. Instead, she opens it and makes herself a drink with the ice and then throws him the rest. And I was like, that's a pretty boss move. I know we're all, on the fence about Alexis, but, that's a pretty boss move. So he tells her that there's things she doesn't know. Yeah, you think? And Julian says if he had to do it over again, he would never have ordered the hit on Duke. Hey, can we make this whole last 2 years an alternate reality? It was all a dream. It never happened. Hey. So yeah, he wishes he would have never ordered the hit on Duke, because then Carlos would still be alive. He could be a father to his child. Who knows? Sabrina could even still be alive. Butterfly effect. And, he would have taken back all of it, because then he wouldn't have lost everything like he did. There's a knock at the door. It's not Sam and Jason, though. I know you're thinking it's Sam and Jason. But he ordered a Christmas tree. Things you do when you're blackmailing someone. So he wants to decorate the tree together. He tells her he loves her, and she doesn't believe it. Then he brings up memories, the proposal, all that. Again, no effect. Or, well, it does have effect on her. She keeps taking a sip of her drink. So Julian got something for her. She doesn't want it, but she opens it, and it's an ornament with their wedding picture, and, she kind of hands it right back to him. But she opens up a little bit, and she's like, how did we end up here? She says this wreckage is all his fault. He says he knows, he's sorry, and but that doesn't matter to her. But that is different than what he was saying in the summer, right after, the incident, where he was kind of putting the blame on them equally, but now suddenly he's taking it all on himself. So I just think that's something interesting to point out. So he says that after she hit him, he felt himself letting go, but she called him back, and she says she was scared, and he's like, no, you're the reason I'm alive, and it matters to him. Does it matter to her? At Sunny's, Christina and Michael are decorating, and Sunny insists they put Morgan's stocking up because they were going to not, just to kind of, not in a mean way, obviously. So Carly's there with Avery, everyone's all good, and then Nell comes in, Carly had invited her as a guest. So Nell apologizes to Sunny, then talks about how Carly doesn't suspect anything, and Christina's like, suspect what? And Nell's like, oh, Carly's surprised. Yeah. So Sam and Jason and Danny come in. Sunny talks with Jason. He's not sure if he can trust now. Not leaving yourself a lot of wiggle room there. And Jason then gets called away, thankfully, because he doesn't want to talk about this. So Michael has a special gift for Carly and Sunny. It's a picture of Morgan, when he was a little drummer boy. Christina is like, oh, this is the perfect time for the surprise you have for Carly. Oh, Christina. So Carly is like, wait, I want to give Nell a present. So it's a necklace with 3 hearts, because her, Jocelyn, and Nell are all connected, all that sentimental stuff. So then Nell gives Carly Sunny's gift. Since he can't leave the house, he asked her to shop for him. And it's a gift, but it's the gift that she got Carly, but she just took the tag off. And I can't tell what it is, but it looks like something super practical that she needs, almost something I don't know. I don't even begin to know what it was. But she's not overwhelmingly enthusiastic one. So then Sunny takes Nell to the side, and he's not comfortable, but lies on top of lies on top of lies. So then Carly innocently asks Jason, what's going on with Nell and Sunny? They have their heads together, and Jason's like, and then Sam, the angel she is, comes over and it's like, oh, Jason, I don't want to rush you, but Monica's expecting us, and he's like, oh, thank goodness. So Jason then goes over to Sunny and tells him that he and Curtis are close to exonerating him, and they leave. So Carly wants them all to gather around the table and hold hands. For Morgan, she has the picture of him and a candle. Nell's of course invited into the circle, which I was like, I don't know. So, because she's been a gift to this family, especially after Morgan passed. So Sunny, realizing that Nell would be next to him to the hold hands, is like, I want to be near Christina. And Christina's like, nah, we're good. And he's like, oh. So he and Nell have to hold hands. So awkward. And now end scene. So Sam and Jason and Danny arrive at the hospital before Franco can say anything to Elizabeth. Monica asks them not to say anything about Franco to Elizabeth tonight. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's Christmas. So Monica talks to all the kids about Christmas, the true meaning of Christmas, all that stuff. Lulu tells Valentine this changes nothing. And yeah. Ugh. Oh, it's going to be such a fight, and I'm so excited. If you want to put into what you think will happen when, just let me know. So, Anna and Emma leave Windermere. She has a present for Anna. It's a bonus gift, and it's the picture of Anna that Valentine had. And Anna's like, this is super creepy. Carly knows Morgan is there with them, and she's like literally making me cry. Franco takes Elizabeth aside. He says he did something to Tom Baker, and what you know it, Dante and crew arrive. Tom Baker was found dead. Someone stabbed him to death. What? Totally saw that coming, right? I kind of think it's his brother, but you know, whatever. Julian tells Alexis he's her life. She's his life. She's his heart, you know, she's everything, and then they kiss, because, you know, Christmas magic there. So, whew, that was eventful, right? So thank you so much for watching today's recap. I'm not sure if there's a new one Monday. I'm almost thinking there isn't, but my TV won't let me look that far ahead into the future, so I don't know. But, of course, this is the end of this week. It is Friday, right? I feel like it's Friday. Everything just happened so fast, right? But in any event, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you maybe Monday, maybe sometimes next week for another General Hospital. But also real fast, if you don't know about this, I'm gonna, okay, so we're doing like a little fun, I don't know what to call it, a pool isn't the right thing, but like basically, guess what date that you think the next like big thing on General Hospital is gonna happen, like, you know, the day of the next wedding, or, the next baby announcement, next betrayal, when Nell and Sunny's news will come out, when Sam and Jason's baby will be born, like stuff like that. I'll make like a comprehensive list and maybe throw that up next week or this weekend or something, so you could put that in there. I already have one. Kiki, you're in for April 15th for a wedding happening. That's like from like 5 months ago, that guess. And I know technically that's a Saturday, but like you have to be the exact date. If it happens like in the near thing, you win, you know, a round of applause from We Shouldn't Sing. But anyway, I just thought it'd be something fun to do for next year. I'm gonna put my stuff in over the weekend, and I will see you next week for General Hospital, and I hope you have a great weekend, and you have a Merry Christmas, and a Happy Hanukkah, because Hanukkah's starting Christmas Eve and going till New Year's Day, which is like crazy late for Hanukkah. Like, when did that happen? In any event, have your great holiday season, and I will see you next week. Bye!